Hey everyone! This week we are testing a new format. Giorgio and I grabbed our new mics and headed to Como, Italy, to chat with people about the big post-COVID trend. Why so many feel less motivated at work, which is causing a big drop in productivity across developed countries. And just as we are dealing with that, a new wave is crashing in, AI threatening to shake up the job market even more. Sadly, we couldn't get George Clooney's take on it, but we did catch up with some colleagues.
I'm Giorgio Zinnaro.
I'm Ivan Peña, and this is Bootstrap for Cash. Good afternoon, Giorgio. How are you doing today?
Hey, Ivan. I can't complain. I've got a spritz in my hand. We are here in Como. Finally, after 5 years, we made it.
Exactly. What are we doing in Como?
Long-awaited pizza.
With a friend of us.
Grazie, Angelo.
Now they know your name. But that's fine. So today we are trying a new format. We just came up with it, so this is completely improvised. And let's see how it goes. Next to us, we have our dear friend Mauro. He's quite famous already in our podcast. Mauro, can you say something with your full mouth?
Hi, guys.
So why did we start this podcast today? So yesterday we had a conversation with our dear friend Angelo. And the conversation was about this trend, global trend that is happening now, that after COVID, it seems that everybody is unhappy with their jobs. And is also happening together at the same time, all this other trend or gossip, I don't know how to call it, where everybody thinks that AI is going to take over all our jobs, right? So in my personal opinion, it's like, if AI is going to take over my job, why should I care, right?
I'd be very happy about that.
Yes, me too.
I don't have to work anymore.
But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, at least soon enough. But anyway, so yeah, we were interested about this topic and we wanted to know the opinion of different people. We already contacted different people that we are going to meet till we publish this podcast to ask them their opinion. So hopefully you can find value in this conversation. So let's start with Giorgio, actually.
Why me?
Because you're the co-host. So you need to warm them up. Let's do a round. So the topic is, like we said, this global trend, like people, they are more unhappy about their jobs. And it's happening at the same time that AI is taking more jobs out, right? Like people are being laid off, especially in the big corporates in technology.
Yes. We saw Salesforce, right?
Exactly. We talked about Salesforce already, and they are laying off quite some people. So what do you think, Giorgio? Why is this happening? What is your opinion? Is there a connection about two topics?
Could be. I'd say it's definitely a mix of things. So it's not just AI that's happening. I mean, the news in general is not great about everything that's happening around the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also the messaging around AI is a bit exaggerated.
So you believe that AI will not take over our jobs anytime soon, right?
I think many things are going to change, definitely. There's going to be the chance for some people to make even more money, also through AI.
Hopefully us. Let's see.
It's not going to take over our jobs. I think the risky part, of course, it lies ahead. This part is time of change. Is going to be risky and tricky,
but then why do you think after COVID, exactly after COVID, everybody seemed to be unhappy about their jobs?
I don't know. I mean, maybe everybody was also unhappy before and they just realized what their priorities were.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think it could be many things. It's hard to point it down just to that specific one. I think it was just the event. It was just the event that triggered that.
So let's see what Angelo has to say about that matter.
Yeah. Hello, guys. First of all, thank you very much, Ivan.
You're welcome.
And Giorgio, to invite me for this episode.
Thank you for inviting us for pizza.
After 5 years.
After 5 years.
Yeah. And really interesting topic. Let's say that for my point of view, we need to split a little bit the discussion in two. One side is strictly related to AI, and the other one is strictly related to what is happening, actually, related to how I mean, what is the real reason how many people are really thinking to change job, or they are unsatisfied, unhappy about what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And as you were saying, I see this direct connection with the pandemic situation,
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic period. And or let's say that I see that as a reset, because what I was seeing before the pandemic situation was that most of the people were running around, they
Mm-hmm.
were living really under pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing, most probably, they were working 110%, not 100%.
So they were in this tunnel mode. So
Yes, let's say
they couldn't see
hyper
outside.
focus, I want to call
Yes.
it, And after that, they had this hard reset where they were basically alone, home, sitting, working,
Thinking.
thinking. And this is the right, I mean, I think that this is the right way to interpret this new way we are having. Because with overthinking, most of people also started to realize that this kind of life was a bit too fast,
Mm-hmm.
and they now are trying to slow down and to find also something that is more comfortable, that give them the possibility to live their life with another point of view, having more free time, having the possibility to have hobbies, and reduce the amount of pressure they have in their life related to work. How this is translated in places where at the end your company, or let's say your employer, is asking for more throughput,
Mm-hmm.
but instead you want to slow down.
Yeah.
And this is translated basically in this kind of way to refuse this way to work, and you are looking around to find something that is more comfortable for you.
And do you think AI is going to increase this expectation of more throughput from you?
As I was saying, I want to divide this point of view
Okay.
in a way that, yes, probably yes, but in a way that you need to be the one that accept AI and use AI to increase your throughput.
Yeah.
Not AI automatically increase your throughput.
Or
Because
enforced.
also this idea that most of the employer have, that you can start with AI and you are able to substitute all the employees, it's completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to start to learn how AI is going to help you in scaling your knowledge.
Yeah.
What that means that most probably, I don't know, for simple topics or simple task that you need to execute, maybe AI is the best,
Mhm.
because it's able to reduce the amount of time you need every day to focus for emails, replying in emails or this kind of stuff. Yes, this is completely true, but it's not going to take over completely this activity from you, because you need in any case to add your human side
Yeah.
in this kind of work.
Mhm.
And on top of that, I think also that most of the people nowadays, with this hard reset and with this economic situation, with this, let's say, also strange social situation that we are having, are trying to go back and live slowly.
Mhm.
What I mean for slowly mean that they wanna day by day approach their work in a different way, knowing exactly what they need to do,
Yeah.
without having this high pressure, without
Mhm.
having this super full backlog where they don't know where to start, what they need to do, have clear timelines. And also the timelines, what I'm seeing also at let's say in my position, is that most of the people are increasing estimation by 30% by default. This
Mhm.
means that if 1 year, 3 years ago, a software developer was telling me for this job I need, I don't know, 5 days,
Yeah.
nowadays
It's 1 day.
automatically no, it's automatically 10.
Okay.
They are increasing by default by 30%,
Okay.
because they want to approach the work in a complete different way. They want to work, slowly. They want to have the time to think. They want to have time to execute, to control, to check, retest. But it's something that your employer is not able to sustain.
Especially with AI, right? Because the expectation is growing
Exactly.
more
This means
throughput.
that now we have these two sides,
Ah.
they are colliding,
Okay.
because you have your employer that is thinking, okay, with the high, I'm able to cut 50% the time to put something in the market.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you have the developers that are thinking, okay, with AI, I'm able to gain the 50% of the time because I know that I'm able to use AI to reduce my real, throughput.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to go slow.
Yeah.
And this means that these two worlds are really colliding.
Let's move to our next guest. Do you want to say your name?
Yes, hi, I am Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. What's your opinion about this?
Nice to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for participating.
And yeah, some nice ideas which you shared before. I'm thinking, in the Corona times we had enough, time to be at home and think maybe about what would I do, what do I like more. Maybe we all need this phase to go over it, and if a lot of us are unhappy now at the moment, maybe it's our advantage to use it as our advantage to take time to understand more what do I actually want to do in the future. Maybe I want to change the job, maybe I feel more comfortable in another areas, or maybe I want to do more with my hobbies and even start to earn somehow money on it.
Have you thought about it? Have you thought about what to do next in the future?
I thought about to have additional source of finance
Yep.
income. I didn't find the idea now at the moment, like to start with something new, which I love and which I can do like professional way. And start to increase there and start to reduce like my
Your main job.
main job
Yeah.
here, to still have like partially this secure heaven, with pension fund, with like to have partially income which is safe,
Yeah.
to start to risk something
And
where
to have more freedom, maybe.
more freedom in the future, and also maybe discover more myself. And I mean, every one of us has his talents, and maybe we need another situation with a little bit of pressure,
Yeah.
where we open more ourselves
Yeah.
and learn more about ourselves. What do we want to do? Because we see a lot of examples around us, how easy some people earn money with some easy ideas, and it should also inspire us to do maybe a brave step to do also something good for us. And I don't think that AI will take completely over.
Yeah.
We should use it as a help, as support, and not be scared for these new changes, because anyway we have now very fast technical development, and with the time we will also learn to adapt, also to change something in us. And I hope for the future we will be more consciousness with the things we like, with the things which is good for us.
Do you think this change will help us to understand ourselves better?
Yes, and
Good.
then we can improve, I think, more in the directions where we are happy with us, and then we are more happy with what we are doing. And maybe this current unhappy situations, it's exactly, go deep down,
Yeah.
take a power, and then dream something big and go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. So, next guest. Do you want to say your name?
Yeah, I'm Isabel. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi.
So I'm interested in your point of view. Can I tell a bit your background? So why I'm interested in your opinion?
Yeah,
You are studying to be a career counselor,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So at some point in the future, hopefully, you will be able to tell people what to do next in their future. Like Elizabeth was saying, what to do next. She thought about it, but she didn't find yet something. So how do you see the whole? What's your opinion of this whole thing?
Well, first of all, when I listened to what you say in the beginning, you were talking about that everybody seems to be like asking themselves what to do next, what is happening with us. I want to ask you, when you refer to everybody,
Yeah.
are you really referring to every age group or to our age group? I mean, if you look at our age, well, in your case, not Giorgio, but whereas we have the same age, no?
Yes, we're millennials.
Can you specify this everybody or
I feel it's not generational. I know for sure the new generations are
Yeah.
not they are not happy.
yeah,
They don't feel purpose. They are
Yeah.
purpose driven, more purpose driven than our generation,
you
probably.
think so? Yeah,
I think so.
Okay, Yeah,
But I still see other generations like millennials and
Yeah.
even some Generation X.
Yeah.
Maybe not boomers. Boomers, I think they accepted that. I mean, they grew up in a society where they had to find a job and stay there forever,
yeah,
right? And I think they grew with that and
Yeah.
they accepted it.
yeah.
And now they are getting retired anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
to think about their future much.
Yeah.
But I saw already some Generation X complaining about it. Like after COVID, I feel that I'm not happy anymore, and I
Yeah.
need to do some changes.
No, because I ask you because, I mean, yesterday during the course we were going through the models, which refer to like everybody goes through stages, life stages, and at a
Yes.
certain point you start asking yourself questions about the meaning of your life, the kind of job you're doing, if you're happy or not, and I mean, everybody reaches this point where mostly everybody reaches this kind of point where he or she asks himself if he's happy and
Yeah.
what should I do if to change the situation. So I think this AI issue is just accelerating this
Yes.
or just making you aware of this. But to a certain extent, I think it's also a normal process. It belongs to the to being a to yeah to the thing of being a human being. I mean,
Isn't it that like the middle life crisis?
of course you can call it.
But the new
this.
generations don't have middle life crisis, right?
No, but they also. I mean, they also have.
Not yet, at least.
But it's yeah, and it's not only AI. It's what is happening. What is happening in the world in general? Conflicts and AI and
Uncertainty, right?
a lot of uncertainty. Yeah. So I think it's not only AI. I would not reduce it just to the AI. AI can accelerate or expose you to these kinds of thoughts, no? But yeah. So I'm not that worried. I think, as she said, you will have to find a way to adapt. That's the key thing, no? To develop skills to adapt to these changing circumstances. And a lot of young people also ask me, or their parents ask me, so what job should we prepare our sons for, no? And it's difficult to say because you don't know what jobs you will have in the future.
Yeah.
So
Is this
it's-
part of your instruction, like what you're learning right now? Is there a part where you discuss the effect of AI?
of course, it's actually a new module they incorporated to the whole
Oh, that's nice.
studies.
Yeah.
So it will also affect our jobs. No,
Yes.
I was wondering what part of my job will be done by AI and which one is going to stay with me.
Exactly.
No, so it also affects us as consultants. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. So let's go to Mauro.
Hi, Ivan.
Hi, Mauro. So what do you think about this matter? What's your opinion?
Well, I was listening to whatever what you guys were saying. One thing it's about Corona, for example.
Mhm.
You know, I think what made us. I mean, it's just an idea that I have is that after Corona, everybody was saying we need to recuperate or recover the whole industry, the whole market, and everything because we lost a lot of time. So even the markets needed to recover, and we recovered very fast. And now think about it: how did we recover very fast?
Mhm.
So we had a lot of pressure as worker. I mean, in the whole industries, at every stage,
Yeah.
everybody needed to recover. So there was a lot of pressure on the population, on the whole society, at least where we live here in Central Europe, but also I guess also in other markets.
Mhm.
And that pressure also also makes us like unhappy because we had a lot of like Angela was saying before, 110% we had a lot of pressure, so everybody was working 110% before COVID. After COVID we needed to recover, so a lot more pressure to recover, and actually we recovered pretty good, and probably not everywhere, but to do that you need to work basically much more time, and there is a lot of pressure. And now AI comes, so and there is even more pressure,
Yeah.
because AI, everybody says AI makes you faster, so you need to perform even more. So you get the pressure from top management to even perform more, because now you have AI, you are faster, so there is even more pressure to it.
And it's actually pressure unfounded because most managers don't understand AI, right?
Exactly. That's the thing, because they just see performance. They don't see what it means, how to reach their performance. And I even think that they don't even know themselves, because usually to get a top management, you go through the whole all levels of working, and you understand all level of working. But now the top down levels,
They skipped it.
yeah, exactly, because it's a new way of working, and
Yes.
so probably they don't understand it, and that's why when I because I was talking to a guy that was going to a board meeting, and he said, "Hey, I have those old guys in the board meeting, and I'm not looking forward to it because they don't understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They basically ask something because he's a younger, he's about in his 30s, 40s, and he was saying, and they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand it. They pretend something, they want something,
They show
but
off.
they don't know what they mean. They think they know, but they don't know. And then after that, you get a lot of pressure, and now this pressure, that means we need to speed up. And what I'm worried about is that, are we as society or as human being, are we able to cope with the speed of change? Because if we as society are not able to cope with the speed of change, there is even more stress, because you're even pressured even more to perform more, to change even faster. And what I'm asking myself, are we ready to this change? Are we able to cope with it? And now when I think about my kids, it's like they have the same capabilities as us. And
Probably even more because
yeah,
they're native, digital native, right?
of course, but they are human beings.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the brain, it took like millions of years to evolve into what we have right now. And it's not like an LLM that you can train it
Yeah.
over a couple of weeks and that's it.
You cannot fine tune your kids.
I can to a certain extent, but the model is that. It's genetics, is evolution. So, I mean, I hope I could, but I mean, even for them, I mean, they have the brain that it is, so that their brains, it's what it is. You can cope until certain, so it can change. It can be not rewired, but wired in a certain sense when they grow up. But is it? Will it be able to cope with this complex
Environment.
evolvement of speed of change? And that's yeah.
I mean, Mauro, I find really interesting this point that you raised about managers, because I'm experiencing exactly the same. This means that day to day, I'm working with C-level managers that are trying to show you that they are aware about what is going on with AI, and they are trying to show you that they fully know the technology behind. But at the end, with few questions, you are able to see that most probably they are only trying to protect their position. Do you think that also this kind of behavior is going to affect in some way at the end the employees?
Of course. I mean, I always say that, and that's from personal experience that I say that, is that
Happens always.
the I mean, managers, I always say the managers, so top management, decide the philosophy of the company. I mean, in the way that they think, in the way that they act, in the way they take decisions, in the way that they pressure the workers. I mean, pressure. I mean, it could be pressure in a good sense. This mentality is driven by top management. top management, which then goes down to middle management and then to the actual workers. And even if you have like a, let's say, like a shallow hierarchy inside of company, they still dictate more or less the way people work together. And in that sense, if they are scared and they put some pressure and they take those uncertainties, those uncertainty, it's just my opinion and my experience, go down to the actual workers. And if they think they don't know, or they feel they need to show that they know, but deep down they don't know, it it fosters some certain it fosters some certain mentality, work mentality, and work culture.
Okay, that's really interesting because I was coming to this point, you know. Do you think also that this is the starting of a revolution for employees? This means that the employees, because they usually, you know, employees are at the end of the chain, and most probably they know already the technology because they are really passionate, especially developers, about what they are doing. Do you think that this is the starting of this new wave where employees will grow in their career path and maybe replace directly this middle management that is not ready for this huge change related to AI?
I don't know. It also depends if they want to. I mean, a developer, a, I'm not saying true developer, but many developers, they just want to do their work. They're passionate about their work. I mean, I'm talking about IT because I'm also there and I'm working there. But I think it scales to all the different markets. But anyway, if some workers, they just want to do their job, they don't want to manage, and so they, why should they take or want to take over middle management? I mean, no, they just want to do their job. And in the end, think about it, top management are the ones who decide who to take for the I mean, lower job for the workers. So they, even if you had a company that is really democratically dictated, then probably yes, because they decide who is in top management. But I don't know any company that is
Yeah,
built
I
up
mean,
like
just
that.
to explain a little bit better from where I'm coming, I was raising these questions because what I'm seeing is that actually the most profitable companies in the AI field are the companies that were created from scratch without middle management. This means that the developers were covering this side and they were able basically to push the company on the next level. And this means being profitable. And other companies where we have all these different layers are not able to be so fast in converting internally the entire workforce to be profitable like the new one. This means I started to ask myself, where is the blocking? I mean, what is the real block inside these companies? And is middle management at the end, because they are trying basically to protect their field, but they are not ready to offer this knowledge, and they are trying in parallel to cover the AI field, studying or trying to, you know, go online and search for whatever information documentation they have, but it's not so easy because they are lacking, you know, the technical background. And what I see I mean, at the end of this idea is that most of the company are now realizing that most probably middle management is not anymore needed, and they want to start basically to clean these layers and have people that are going to cover more than one hat inside the company. And this is again going to the initial discussion. This means that most of the people, instead of simplifying and have less pressure, they are going to have again tons of pressure on their shoulder.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's very difficult because those are the decision that each company needs to take. And honestly, I don't know how it's gonna. I mean, I don't even want to give founded opinion because it's different. You need to usually to give an opinion like that, you need to have certain experience, and we are at the start of the journey, so everything is speculated. You could speculate anything. What I'm asking ourselves is, or myself, is, will we be able to cope with the speed of change?
And I think that's the perfect question to leave to our listeners. So, guys, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. And if we get some feedback from our audience and they are interested about this topic, expect an invitation for another podcast, more in detail. So, yeah, check your emails daily. After Como, I headed to Madrid for a close friend's wedding. And while I was there, I asked a few friends what they thought about this matter. So today we are in Madrid and we just arrived because we have a wedding, and I'm taking advantage of being around friends to ask them about the question that we are treating in this podcast. And let's start with David.
Hello, everyone.
Actually, it was supposed to be anonymous. It's not anymore. But that's fine. That's fine because you are a podcaster yourself, right? So.
Yeah, you can call me Imperio Muscaria. That is anonymous.
So the question for this podcast is related to this trend since COVID that we are all seeing globally, that people are getting more and more demotivated at work, even though it's the same work they had before COVID. And one question is, what's your opinion? Why is this happening? And now it's getting even worse because of the influence of artificial intelligence. Because the message that is going around right now is like AI is going to take over all our jobs, right? So whatever happened after COVID, now we are adding on top the thing that, okay, now I'm going to work, but if some machine is going to take over my job, it's like, what's the motivation, right? To get up every morning and go to work. What do you think in this sense, David?
Well, I believe that we are going to talk about here about two different questions. Ivan is trying to mix both together, but I think we should look at this from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking about motivation, I think that what we felt during the pandemic is that life is not only about working and just look at the time while we try to achieve something professionally, right? We try to achieve something else. We try to have a better well-being, enjoy our life, going out with our friends, having a lunch. I think that it gives us much more pleasure. Previous to the pandemic, maybe we value work more than we value now. We value our lives more now, and we expect to have more free time with our friends. I think that mostly everyone has come to this conclusion after what we felt during the pandemic.
Why do you think the pandemic caused that? Like this kind of realization that we should focus more on our friends, our surroundings, our family, and so on, our free time or spare time, like you said before. Why do you think the pandemic was the trigger for that?
Well, the key was that many people lied, right? And we could have been one of them, but we weren't.
Yeah.
And this means that we saw many of our friends or family, hopefully not, but maybe we saw some of us how we died because of a stupid pandemic, and this could happen again, and we don't know when this will occur again. This is why now we try to enjoy our life much more than before, because we can see that in any moment we could be involved in a pandemic again. So let's make the most of our time now. On top of that, I think that working from home influence on motivation, right? Unfortunately, I had to give a point to my managers because working from home reduces productivity. And on the one side, reduces productivity, but improves our well-being because we spend more time at home with our families. And this surplus of time we spend at home now has been reduced from the motivation at work. And this is why I believe that hybrid work reduces motivation, clearly.
And how do you think is the influence of AI is going to affect this mood, this new mood? Is it going to make it worse? First of all, do you think that AI is going to take over all our jobs? And second of all, do you think is this a positive thing that if we really manage to do that, that we will have more spare time for ourselves.
I can say that Ivan is making a great effort to put both things together. Even though I said at the beginning not put two things together, he's trying again for the second time. But okay, I can't defend I can defend myself here.
Go for it.
Okay, AI and motivation. Now, talking seriously, I can't see the connection between both of them. To me, AI is a new technology trend, and it happened in the 2000, approximately 2010, and this means, and even as it happened with the industrialized period, I think that was around the 60s or the end, 80s, right? All these trends have meant that there are more robots at work and there are fewer people working, right? But not for everyone. We as a software engineers have been benefit for this. So this means that to me, people is taking AI and will take AI as a new technology trend. Some of them will be benefited from that. Hopefully, we will go in this trend and will motivate us and we will do more work, but not for others. And from my personal point of view, I think that, let's say, people who don't use technology on daily basis or not are related with technology at all can use technology, can use AI to improve their productivity, to improve what they do on daily basis. And as soon as they get used to that, they will see how their life can be improved 20%. No more, less. No less, no more. So this is how I believe AI will influence the workforce at 20% to improve it for those who really appreciate and take in the AI trend. For those who don't take it that, they will suffer. As at the 2000, there were many people who didn't take on technology. In the 2010, there were other people who didn't take on technology. And in the industrialized era in the 60s or the 70s. Yeah, that's it. Anyone else here?
Yeah, Jose.
Hi.
Do you want to be anonymous?
It's okay.
It's okay. So, how do you think is AI going to affect our lives? What's your position about AI?
I think in one way it's going to be very positive for us. But I think what you said before about the motivation at work, I think is that most of the people are already foreseeing another crisis and more problems. I think the problem with COVID is that for us who were born in the 80s, it was our third crisis.
Yeah,
and
we are used to it, right?
So now it's we are getting over this third crisis, and a fourth is coming in the next years.
Yes.
So maybe that's why people are demotivated. But I think long term, it is going to help us a lot.
You have a kid, right?
Yeah.
He's quite young now.
Yeah, he's 2
But
years.
Whenever he grows up, we don't know what is going to happen. But let's assume that he's a bit older and he's going to start university or takes the next step into the world, right? Of grown-ups. What would your recommendation be for him? Like if he tells you, Dad, I don't know what to do next.
Well, I have some nephews that are going to start a university soon.
Okay.
So when they ask me, I always tell them that they have to do what they really like. On maybe not like 20 years ago, but maybe you wanted to be some kind of I don't know historian or something that was not very well paid, and then your father said, no, you have to do something that gives you money at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But I think now it's not so important. Maybe you can do really whatever you like, and maybe AI is going to help you to achieve some kind of income, some kind of progress that before you couldn't have.
Yeah, but David, for instance, said that if you don't embrace AI in the way like if you don't know the technology behind it, you might lose all your competitiveness, right? So even if you pursue what you like, if you don't know how to embrace AI, you are going to suffer, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that could be, but I think maybe AI, those who are on the edge, for example, you in your podcast, or some people that are really with the AI every day, maybe they are like the guys that had the internet at the early 90s. So maybe, yeah, they take profit. But I think AI is going to go to general world like internet came at 2000 or something like that. So I think it's just a matter of time. And I think now at the university, you have more chances to be more flexible and to adapt AI as maybe those who are already started to work, because yeah, you have to struggle with work.
So you think if your nephews would start yet now philosophy or something like that, they will manage to make a profitable life out of it, like to get some income?
I think so, yeah. For example, my nephew, who's going to start the university,
Yeah.
maybe, well, because I'm the IT and I know, but he's the one in the family that knows better AI and uses ChatGPT, and he's very, and not because he loves AI, but he's already started with friends and he's already started to get used to the technology.
That's nice.
And even for the things he likes, he always checks with the AI. So, and yeah, he doesn't want to do computer things. It's just that with his friends, it's like, yeah, for us, maybe using, I don't know, Encarta in the 90s or Wikipedia.
That was a long time ago.
Very long time ago. Memories in black and white. But yeah, I think when you are studying, when you are exactly at this age, is when you are eager to learn for the future. And maybe when you are in the 30s or 40s, that you are more reluctant to change or to learn the new things. So, I mean, for these kids, it's going to be hard because I think they are going to be full impact by the change. But I think they have chances to adapt. And
easier, right?
Easier.
That's nice. Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Next, do you want to be anonymous?
Rather than my name is Jose.
No.
Yeah, sure.
Can we mention our discussion we had yesterday in the airport? So I told you are let's say you're in a management position, right? And I told you right now you could just have one of your tech guys and yourself as person giving you the business requirements, and he taking care of the tech, and some AI, something like Cursor or Copilot or some vibe coding tool, and only you two with that tool, you could handle the whole work of your whole team. And even if you, instead of bringing new people, AI would do it would learn the new code base and stuff, and in a couple of minutes, and they will be more efficient, right? But you disagree in some sense to what I said yesterday, right? And I wanted to hear your thoughts here on the record.
All right. Yeah. So actually, while we were discussing about this, my main point is to also bring in the technical leads or experts in the business logic or most so basically on some specific business details, usually, at least the pattern that I see is that the tech leads are not involved so much in using AI because they are mostly able to resolve problems by themselves. And that ends up in a situation that actually what I observe is that AI is used mostly by people that understand a bit less the business logic. But this is the case for the business applications. I'm not sure if, for example, maybe for the startups works in a different way, but in business applications, they are so connected with so many other tools, not just the code base that you're reviewing, but also the way that it behaves with other tools in the landscape that maybe consume data and so. And I know that then this is like regulated via APIs and so that you should also kind of keep. Yeah, I'm not fully in agreement with less people with a better knowledge of AI should perform same as a full team. Yeah.
Okay, so your opinion is basically in a company you have different products, you have a landscape of products, and they are somehow in a business way they're interconnected with each other, and you think that this connection AI is missing it, right? In some way. That's why maybe it's not so optimal. While in a startup, maybe it's just one or two products, So it's not a landscape of things. So it's easier to integrate AI.
Yeah, let's say that in a regular business day, I'm not, or the tech lead either. We are not so often just tackling problems that are about fixing bugs or just doing something that is going to improve the product right away. Sometimes it's solving tons of little problems that different departments have. Of course, it's because of maybe the quality of the products. If there is not enough investment in polishing the products, then you kind of have tons of time wasted in maintenance and so, right? So if we will go to that point with maybe with the help of AI at the expense of maybe solving less problems in a kind of reactive way, maybe we will get to a point that, as you say, less people are needed, right?
You know that the big techs are laying off a lot of people, right? And that's, or they claim that it's because they can replace them with AI. And let's put an example, Google or Microsoft, and probably they have many, many more products. So the landscape is much bigger than your own company, right? And they're claiming that they can lay off all these developers because they can do it with AI now.
Right. I think there is a bit of a mix of factors, because actually your original question was also related, not the original question to me, but the overall question about the impact of. In the last few years since COVID, things have changed, right? And I don't think that it's only related to AI, and maybe this is a bit deviating from the original discussion, right? But I think the remote locations also like employing on many other countries that you would call maybe like externalizing the services, I think is having even a larger impact than automation. And this is maybe what is causing that it's so hard to maybe keep people in expensive locations and actually being a larger driver than AI itself. Of course, it depends on how integrated is AI in a company, right? Maybe this is even another layer of consequences that can have, right?
So you say that companies are moving the work or the coding work to other countries, cheaper countries, right? Or where the labor is cheaper. Why not, instead of just bringing the work to those people in those cheap labor countries, why not just replacing them with AI?
Right. Well, that's a fair question. I think just that while AI is very developed, I think it's not 100% there where you want to have it, because you still need to have eyes on what's going on, right? Plenty of eyes, because there are plenty of things yet going on. So even though you can do plenty of improvements and have a high degree of automation, I think humans were still one level farther still in many cases. While I understand this is arguable, and it actually can. This could be very easily obsolete in 3 months, right? I'm pretty sure that what I'm saying now, it's gonna age pretty bad. But yeah,
it's going live next week, so it's
yeah,
fine.
Exactly. Publish it. The sooner the better. Yeah.
Yeah, the sooner the better. Good. Thank you guys for your time. No one else wants to contribute? Good. Thank you. This last chat with Jose got me wondering, is this how people in other corporations feel too? I've spoken with others in the corporate world before, and the response was always pretty similar. Most of them hadn't even heard of the concept vibe coding. Luckily, we ran into another friend who shared that their company is already integrating coding with AI. Here's what he had to say. So, we are with another friend. We were discussing about AI, how AI is affecting the workforce. And if you remember, we had before a discussion with another friend called Jose, and he was kind of still defending, let's say, human force over AI. And now we were discussing with my other friend, that wants to stay anonymous, that this is different in your company, right? Like now you see more added value. You are vibe coding now. You introduce vibe coding in your company, right? And you realize that everything is going faster. So you can code faster. You can do everything faster. You are more efficient than before. And you are actually laying off, or your company is laying off people, because now with AI, you're much more efficient in all your processes, right? So what's your vision here?
Yeah, at the beginning, I think
I never believed in the hype of AI.
Mhm.
I don't know. I was thinking like, I was seeing it like, this is happening. Yeah, it's cool, but I never thought that it will make a big change on my way of working.
Mhm.
But yeah, slowly I started using it, and now we are using Claude, and with the use of Claude Code, and the more with the integration with the different tools, etc., we started to realize that we could boost a lot the programming on our code base, and we started to do more stuff with vibe coding. We slowly started to generate files to feed the model and to be able to understand better how we were programming, to teach basically the model how we wanted things to be done. And that started to work really well with testing at the beginning. We were just using it for testing. Later, we started coding like small features or simple things. Like, for example, now we no longer think about configuration files, etc. We just do the code and then we say, okay, we want to do all these settings that we have on the code be possible to be set up on config, etc. Yeah, it's growing fast, and the reality is that many things that, for example, when you want to boost the project, if you could think that you could hire a couple of developers, and that maybe will take you like 3 months maybe to get them introduced in the topic, understanding the code base, being proficient, etc. It's like a whole process, and also you need to teach them, so you need to dedicate a lot of time on that.
And they have a salary.
They have salary, of course. And yeah, on the other hand, what you can do is have a lot of multiple maybe projects, multiple consoles, or multiple leaders with different code bases, whatever the approach you want to take. But yeah, you can be like supervising different developments in parallel. And yeah, I think in general it's more efficient if you need to boost something quickly. It's easier doing with vibe coding than increasing the number of people on the project, for example. I never thought that this would be possible, but the reality is that it's happening.
In a nutshell, what are the best practices you follow to make the model more efficient? Like to say or to state that it can replace a human being when it comes to coding.
I think so. Yeah, I think there is always a person that needs to be behind with the supervision, etc. Needs to understand what is, I mean, what you want to do really, and understand really the product, etc. So you don't end up being I don't know, maybe the agent ends up doing whatever it wants, and you don't understand what it's doing. So, but you need to keep control. But
how do you interact with it?
I use usually what I do is we use Claude in plan mode, and I use it on console. I program on IntelliJ, but I usually don't use much the integration with IntelliJ. I use it on the console, and I do basically what I do is plan mode in Claude. And basically I describe the task, and I do multiple iterations over the plan, asking him to give me details about how he's going to implement the different pieces, ensuring that he's going to do coverage and how he's going to test it, etc. And then when the plan is ready and I have done like, I don't know, 6 or 8 iterations, I tell Claude to execute it.
So you state the requirements, and then Claude prepares the plan. And then once you review the plan and say, okay, this is the plan to go, then it goes and implements the whole thing.
Yeah, automatically.
And then does some testing, right?
Yeah, it does some testing. And then what I do is review the testing, review the cases, and I run them just to ensure that is what I'm really looking for. And if that's fine, I raise a pull request.
Do you are you in any way scared that AI at some point will replace you as employee?
I don't know. I'm still not thinking that. I think it's a bit unfair maybe for people that don't have experience, or maybe don't
like new generations.
So people, for example, coming into a new job, etc. Maybe there is a barrier. I mean, that there is a wall there. But I don't know. I still think we need the people. And what I think is that it's going to make things go faster.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that everything is going much faster now in software. I don't know. It's like I was comparing it the other day. Like, I don't know, maybe before having the tools that we have right now, even before artificial intelligence, when we were, I don't know, when you had like a text editor and you had to run the compiler, and then, oops, this failed, I go and change it, and you didn't have the help, for example, of pre-compilation on the file, etc. Everything was much slower. No, then things were boosted, and still there were a lot of jobs for technology. So I think that we still have the chance to, I don't know, it's just that we need to adapt to the new way of thinking and the new way of working.
You
I
said
think-
that everything is much faster. Do you think this is creating expectations on the management levels that, in a way, is affecting the lower levels, or let's say the people implementing the projects or the products? That is affecting in any way mentally? Like, there is much more pressure now because my expectation is that you are going to do things faster, or you must do things faster, actually, because of AI. Do you think this is affecting mentally in any way people?
Yeah. And I think it's also like not just the faster, it's just too many things at the same time. Because
Okay.
when you think about it, you need to handle the way to make it, I think, productive is that you are able to work in multiple tasks
Mhm.
with different AI agents working on different things. But your brain needs to be focused on supervising maybe 5 tasks, while in the past, maybe you were working on something specific, you were developing,
Mhm.
you test it, you finish it, and you go jump to another thing, right? While
Mhm.
now it's like you want to be really productive, you don't want to be standing in front of the desk seeing how the agent is doing the code, right? I mean, because in the end that you could do you could be doing it and that's it. I mean, it's not so fast.
Mhm.
So the key is maybe parallelizing the process, and that makes it a bit stressing, the multitasking,
Yeah.
really.
Because we are not really good at multitasking, right? Our brain is not prepared for that.
Exactly. So it's challenging. Yeah. It's a different mindset.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you want to add anything, Jose, on top of that?
No, but I think this the input from the other commenter,
From our anonymous person.
our anonymous person, had also made me reflect a lot on it, and I can definitely see the point. So let's say also, just to make it clear, I was never opposed to it. I think it's just in my workplace it's not so standardized. Just because maybe I'm working a larger corporate, and that makes things to always move slower to some extent, and they're always less flexible to adapt to change, right? I mean, there are tons of initiatives, things are happening, tons of things actually, but so that it has a reach for the full company, that takes much longer. So, and I think actually this is also an edge now that we're talking about this topic. It's an edge for startups to actually eat part of the market as well for larger companies because of this flexibility, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at this, the European example, Lovable, right? This company was a startup. In 6 months, it grew, and they were doing in 6 months already like millions in recurrent revenue, right? And this is happening now because of AI. Otherwise, it could never happen, right? So yeah, we are seeing this trend, and the problem is that, or this is how I see it, is the market is already overcrowded, right? So it's difficult to kind of like highlight yourself with so much noise happening around you, right? So it's difficult for us small companies. But at least he convinced you already to try more deeply AI, right?
Yeah, I mean, before we were discussing a few interesting use cases, which definitely gave me some food for thought. So I'm definitely gonna
trying it out.
Yeah.
Good. That's
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, for your time. That's it for today. We hope you enjoyed this new format. If you have thoughts on this topic, drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you liked the episode, don't forget to share with other people and leave us a review. It could really help us grow and keep the podcast going. Hear you next week.